All right, gentlemen, this is the throwdown. That's the showdown that's about to go down because today I've got one of my favorite peers or purettes or pirouettes. Maybe that
Peters,
would be
it's
the right.
equality now.
Yes. Okay. Right. There's no
Yes.
masculine, feminine. We're in the Latin X age. So they've
Mhm.
even ripped off Spanish from Latin X peoples. You're not allowed to be masculine or feminine anymore, Marni. After all, we never talk
That's okay,
about
I'm
that.
masculine, so I I am fine saying it, yes.
Well, that's a new look for you. So then we'll have to talk about that.
Mhm.
But then again, you are from California. But I want to
Yeah,
tell these guys what we're up to today. We're going
yeah.
to talk about the four S's that you're
Mhm,
coming up with, different from the big four that I have. But we're all centered on this idea of what women need to feel attraction.
mhm,
Okay, and you can tell us what masculine women need to feel attraction.
mhm,
That'll be something I was born ready to hear. Okay.
mhm.
But indeed, I want to introduce you guys to my longtime friend and previous guest, although it's been a long time, Marni Kinrys, your wing girl
Mhm.
from Culver City, California. Marni, how's it
Yes.
going?
It's going well. I'm not saying I'm masculine, but I have both sides to me. I can be very feminine, trust me, I can be extremely feminine, but I also do have a and I say it that way. That is how I phrase it. I'm 45, maybe that's like a no-go on PC, but that's how I think about it, I'm pretty happy to say it. If anything, I've been called, um what have I been called? Like a misogynist before. So like
A
right? Because I'm
misogynist.
very pro man, but I am still in my mind very feminine and very female.
Well, that's exactly how my wife is. My wife's very
Yeah,
feminine, but she's very pro man. My wife and I have always been pro both genders. We're just pro men and women
everybody.
seeing each other as partners, not adversaries.
Yep.
You know what
Yep.
I mean? Yeah.
Yep. I've always been the same way too. But recently I'm even more pro man because I'm hearing so many pro female things. And I have two boys now. Actually, since the last time we've talked, probably. I have two boys in my household. And I had one of
Isn't
them
that
recently say
something?
to me, like, why are there no, go boy signs or boy power signs? And I was like, you know what, you're right. Why aren't there any boy power signs? Because we're forgetting that they didn't grow up in this time where,
That's
there
right.
was an unbalance. They're growing up in this time where the unbalance is that females are getting so much more supported. So like how it's registering for my boys is really interesting to see it through their eyes. So, yeah.
Yeah, when we both first started at this, it was over 20 years ago, and
Mm,
both of us know Eben Pagan,
yeah.
aka David D. And I
Mhm.
remember I did an interview with him. He did very few outside interviews, so I was always honored when he did one with me. And I did one with him after he and his wife Annie had their daughter. And he said, "Oh, it changed everything."
Yeah, for
Like, I
sure.
don't even believe what I used to teach anymore. I kind of sort of half ashamed of it. And I kidded him about that because it changed my life. It was
Mhm.
what I studied to get to where I am now. But, indeed, I already had a daughter. I was already married when I became a dating coach. So I
Yeah.
already had that perspective of having a daughter. Now I have two. And interestingly enough, these guys know, and that I'm raising her to be gritty and
Yeah.
tough and all woman all the time because I don't think those are feminine traits. I think those are strong human traits to be gritty and
Yep,
tough.
I
But
agree.
at the
That's a
rate
better way
you're
of phrasing
going,
it.
wing girl method is just a juggernaut nowadays, and guys are listening to
Yeah.
you. And I think Marni, it's always been because you are pro man.
I think so. I don't openly say that I'm pro man, but I have always I don't wanna call it underdogs either, but, like, that's who I've always leaned towards is people who aren't being seen, and because that's how I always felt when I was younger. I was unseen. There were popular people, there were really pretty people, there were people who were X, Y, and Z that were always the ones who got attention, and I became the cheerleader for those that did not, but should be getting the attention that they should get. So,
Well, you
yeah.
got the revenge on those cheerleaders by
Oh,
becoming a
100%.
much bigger
Yes.
cheerleader. Oh, yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
No, definitely. And, like, I still love what I do. It's shifted a little bit because my brain is in a different space. Even what you were saying before, how Eben became a father to a girl and then his perspective changed. Like, I am now in the marriage with kids phase. Like, that's where my brain is
Mhm.
at, and that's what I'm so fascinated by and even still so curious by. The dating part, which I talk about a ton, and the attraction part is still very interesting to me. I have a team of 11 girls who work with me, and they coach all of our guys on that stuff. But the area that I'm very immersed in right now is this 40-year-old stage. Like, what happens at this stage with attraction? What's different about it? What are the nuances to it that I think are really fascinating?
Lots of Cialis.
Yep.
That's what
But even
happens.
be the thing is like, if I was in my 20s, I'd be like, "Ugh," if a guy were to mention that. Like, you just have a totally different perspective when you're younger. Everything's so black and white, where everything now is very gray. I watched this show called Better Things, and in it, there's a storyline where the daughter's 40 and she has this mom who's in her 70s who is divorced, but she starts dating this guy who has a wife who he's a caregiver for. And she's saying, "Oh, mom, that's so wrong of you. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? It's horrible." And she said to her daughter, "When you get to be my age, it's not about if you're married, it's how married are you?" And I was like, that's a really interesting perspective, that everything becomes more and more gray as you like, literally gets more and more gray as you get older. And I think
Right,
you become more
exactly.
accepting of things because you understand how difficult it is to be a human being.
That's all very remarkable in that there's lots to remark on there.
Yeah.
First of all, I saw the boy mom in you coming a mile away. You are totally a
Oh,
boy
yeah.
mom. I've kidded you before that you're going to be the ultimate Jewish grandmother someday.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to be that too. But in the meantime, boy mom, it fits. That shoe
Oh,
fits. Yeah.
100%. That's what I wanted. I was like, I did not want a girl. I wouldn't know what to do with a girl probably. But it's funny now because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, but girls are." I would love to just, like, go shopping with a girl and talk with a girl. This boy energy is a little bit too much for me, to be honest, but I like it. I do like it.
I remember like back in 2003 when I got full custody of my 5-year-old daughter. I found out finally for once in my life what hair conditioner was for.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
never even knew why there were 2 bottles in the
Yeah.
shower. Now
Yeah.
that untangling thing really mattered
Mhm.
with the 5-year-old little girl. And, it was like a scene from Kill Bill Volume 2. I was cutting the corners lovingly off of her sandwiches to take to school,
Yeah. Yeah,
this
you were taking care of a little
dude.
girl. I
Yeah,
know,
that's
it's
right.
really nice, but that is the
They
difference when
they
you do
melt your
become.
heart.
Yeah, but it's even for boys or for girls. Like, even if Evan were to become a parent, I think it's just when you're a parent, it's your brain just changes. You just see
Yeah,
the world differently because you're trying to do better and you're trying to teach them and you're
that's
trying
what
to
he
help them
said. Yes.
navigate it all.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
It's
but I wouldn't
absolutely
change
right.
any of his advice. I still love a lot of his advice.
I
For
agree.
many
I mean, the
guys,
whole
it is
cocky, funny
beneficial.
thing,
Mhm.
oh, yeah, changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it would still
revolutionized.
change many people's lives. Maybe there's
Oh,
some
yeah.
lines that he wouldn't want to say anymore that are a little bit too much, but I would say about 90% of the content in there,
Right.
I would still teach that to people.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Mhm.
You also talked about things being gray, literally. I think that's maturity, Marnie, and I
Yeah,
think,
it is.
it's interesting that you would draw that parallel between, obviously alluding to gray hair and finding gray areas in things because nowadays it seems like the immature people out there on social media and the people who haven't grown up really with real human friends and human people around them, like the age of people who went to high school during lockdown.
Yeah.
It's right, wrong. If you disagree with me, even in one area, you're basically Satan, and my
Mhm,
side can do no wrong. It's a logical fallacy of all or nothing. It's on parade every day.
mhm. Well, that's what it seems like. I don't know if it's really like that, though. I don't
Not
know.
in the
I
real
see it
world.
not in the real world. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Like, what you
Uh-uh.
see out there is very polarizing, but I don't think in your day-to-day life people are as extreme. Like, there
No.
is nuance. Like, even my friends, they come over here, we talk politics, like, we're all sort of in the same zone, but I'm, like, a little further one way and they're further another way, but we kind of can hear each other and get the other person's point of, and then also like, "Okay, I get where you're coming from. That's not what I like, but I get where you're coming from," which I think is great. But I don't think the majority of people like that are sorry, or majority of people out there are able to have those kind of conversations. I think that a lot of people are very stuck in what they believe because it's their identity now. And if their identity is attacked, then they don't like that.
As we're kind of workshopping this idea together, and it actually will come right back around to the four S's, because
Yeah.
this is how men and women connect over conversation and over getting to know each other and what does masculine and feminine even mean and what am I even being attracted to? What am I connecting with? All of that matters. And I heard something interesting the other day, and I wish I could remember the source because here I am on a podcast talking about it. might have been Glenn Beck of all people, talking on his morning show just while I'm driving my truck around listening to radio, talking about how when your brain is saturated in cortisol, which is the fight or
Oh,
flight
yeah.
hormone, you're thinking live or die, make a decision,
Yeah.
yeses
You're
and noes,
20%
and
dumber.
right, and that actually robs your brain in the moment of the
Mhm.
ability to look at things in a gray area
Yeah.
and find a middle ground on things. So
Mhm.
these people who are just steeped in activism and being angry all the time, and they've gone, down the deep end, for one cause or another, and they're just activists. They have literally in their brains, maybe temporary, maybe longer, lost the ability to see that middle ground. But I agree
Yeah.
with you that I don't think it's everybody. I just think it's the angry, visible people who are grabbing the
Yeah.
headlines. Meanwhile, back here in the real world, and I tell guys all the time, I don't know how you feel about this, Marni, but I think we should get off the dating sites and apps. They've been programmed to use us instead of us using them. We should go back out there and meet people in the real world. We should tough it out, because when you meet black people, white people, gay people, straight people, men, women, old people, young people, we all really just want to get along and live our
Oh, yeah,
lives.
for sure. For sure.
We're
I
not
I
out there to
completely
like
agree
tear
with
each
you.
other's throats out.
I totally
Yeah.
agree with you. It's funny because like, I didn't meet my husband on a dating app, but when I first moved over here, the only people I had ever dated was like short Jews who were kind of balding and who wear glasses. Like, that was my world. That was my sphere, and that's who I was looking to date, right? But when I came to Los Angeles, I said to myself, I'm going to say yes to every invite. And so I did go out with people who were totally not in my wheelhouse, and I met my husband. He wasn't even on my radar. I enjoyed him. I liked talking to him, but he wasn't someone that I was attracted to because he was 6'4", he was half black. I mean, he's American, I'm Canadian. There's so many differences, and it was just not in my world to even think like this could be a possibility. But because I was meeting him in person, that slowly shifted. So I do love dating apps if they're used correctly, but
Well,
they're
I
not
don't
used
I don't
correctly
think
most
they
of the
should be,
time.
they're not reliable like they used to be, especially with AI pictures and AI write my narrative for me. I mean, even the quote unquote beautiful people are going on dates and going, "Who the hell are you? You're not the person I
Yeah,
was figuring
sold
I'd be."
on.
Yeah, right. Now your husband though, to your husband's credit, he had a really cool job. Does he still have that job? Does he still
He
run
didn't have
surf
a cool job
contests?
at that time, but he had a cool job once I got to be the woman behind the man, then he then he
Ah,
got that
okay.
cool job. No,
You
but
propelled
he
him
has
to
a
that.
very cool job now. So he does, live action broadcast. So he's actually working with the Olympics in Los Angeles right now, and then also runs his own production company. But yeah, he does, like, cool events. Oh, BMX events, that's why you liked it.
Well, no, he ran surf contests, didn't he?
He ran surf contests, but he did BMX events too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I'm wondering why I don't know him. Maybe I do and just never
'Cause he's
realized
doing
it.
the video footage and production
Oh,
of it, so
okay.
I wouldn't think that you would know him, but he did a couple of events for BMX for a short period of time, and he was trying to get, oh my god, what was that crazy, I forget what the event is that he showed me where somebody was, like, riding off a mountain and ended up dying, but, like, crazy BMX events. He was trying to get
Oh, yeah,
that
downhill
series for a
mountain
while.
biking. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
but that was
One of my
crazy.
friends got to go to Italy, and he met Snoop Dogg, and that was the
Okay.
coolest part of being a part of the Olympics for him, was
Oh,
to meet
yeah,
Snoop. Yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
All
Well, I
right.
was gonna say something before, because like, to kinda connect to the
Yes.
4 S's, but also to
Yes.
the gray zone. So I do like a weekly coaching call every single week for this group called the Inner Circle. And last night, one of the new guys came on. This was his second week that he was there. And the first week I spotted this, and then even more so last night. He has a very black and white area when it comes to women about who he believes women are, right? He believes in his mind that women are going to hurt him and they're going to screw with him and he's going to become a huge pushover and he is going to have no boundaries because she's going to walk all over those boundaries. Like,
And that's
and we
leadership, of course.
yeah, of course. But we talked about that last night. Like,
Mhm.
you are always going to find that self-fulfilling prophecy. You are always going to either find women who are like that or make women into women who become like that because of what you're doing right now. Like, I don't believe that there's all these narcissistic women out there. I get guys come writing into us every single day. Oh, my last girlfriend was a narcissist. My wife was a narcissist. No, most likely they weren't narcissists. They became people with narcissistic tendencies after getting into a relationship that wasn't healthy and mutually beneficial. right? And they weren't communicating properly. So it's interesting because like he's in his 50s and he still very much lives in that black and white zone. And what we're working on him with is to step out of the black and white to walk into the gray so he can see what his participation is in that process happening and what the woman's participation was as well. I'm not saying that he's the only one to blame, but I'm saying that he's part of the equation. This isn't being done to him, it's being done with him, and he's the only one who can alter that. So it is interesting.
Well, your friend in your group, man, that is not uncommon.
No.
And what happens is it can work out such that the more experience we get, the more jaded we get. So
Yeah.
it's not like we get wiser and better with women as we get older. We get more cranky and more upset and more convinced this isn't going to work for us. And it
Yeah.
is self-fulfilling prophecy. It is leadership. What I noticed, Marnie, is after I was divorced from my crazy ex-wife, and you and I have talked about this, I really legitimately had a
Yes,
clinically
you had a
insane ex.
clinically
Yeah,
yes. That
yeah,
one is I'll give you that.
yeah. That's documented. I started attracting more covert, crazy women. And it's because in my mind, I was expecting women to be crazy. So I was okay with women being crazy. And the crazy women went, oh, ding, 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 we have a loser or a winner, depending on which perspective you want to have. This guy will put up with me. This guy won't, this guy will take it from me. This guy will put up with it. Because these
Mhm.
people, if they're really selfish or if they're really crazy, I really believe they know who they are and what they got going on. People who are evil, people who don't like to do good, they know that people who are basically good people can't wrap their heads around being evil, and they pass it off and go, oh, well, maybe this person's just having a bad day. No, they're deriving joy from your pain. That's what they're doing. They're evil people. So what happens is if we are men and we lead in that way and we expect these women, those women will find us, they'll gravitate towards us, and they'll be like, cool, I found a guy who'll put up with me. As soon as we set that boundary, and literally, Marnie, it's not like you have to learn a new habit or read a
Yeah.
bunch of books. You flip a switch one day and go, that's it. Talk to the hand.
Mhm.
I am not dealing with crazy women anymore. So you go on a date, a woman goes, what are you looking for? And you go, I'm looking for a woman who is of sound mind, who I can have a reasonable conversation with and make sense. And the first sign that she's cray cray, we're not going to have a relationship anymore. And I
Mhm.
remember bracing myself thinking, oh God, I'm just going to get clobbered by chicks for being this horrible guy who would think that. And women started going, I am so glad you brought that up, because you know what that says? That says to me, you're probably not a crazy narcissistic fiend because you brought up the objection first.
Mhm.
Therefore, if I'm someone who's going to be crazy and a nut job, I'm not going to be upfront about that. I'm going to try to be charming and nice till I sink my claws in. And then boom, once I have you getting the feels and maybe I've knocked you up, and I'm talking from a guy's perspective, right? Because this goes both ways. Then you can't go anywhere. Boom, I've got you. Now, if guys are welcoming narcissistic women or crazy women, they're going to start thinking that's the only type of women there are out there. But as soon as we set that boundary and flip that switch, if we can endure a little bit of maybe drama, because the last couple vestiges, i.e., women who are thinking like that, traipse into our lives and we kick them out. The next thing you know, other women start coming in. We're honest about that. They're glad we were honest. We, boom, weeded out all of the crazy women who are bad for us. Marnie, for the last couple of years before I met Emily, when I was enjoying my dating life, I didn't meet one crazy chick.
That's
They were
amazing.
all just
But
wonderful
I think even
sweethearts
you
with great
announcing that on the
personalities.
front end also says, like, I'm not going to put up with this, right? So even if listen, there are certain people that I'm around who my meaner side comes out. And I'm being
They just
serious. Like,
bring it out in you. Yeah. Oh, I know.
it does. And so, but there are people that I'm around where I'm like, that side cannot come out. Like that childish side of me cannot come out. So it also is telling people and the women that you're dating who you are as a man and what you'll put up with, and that does alter something. So there, I was talking about this yesterday, and I sounded really bitchy when I was saying it. And I don't think I'm a big bitch, but I can be bitchy. I be to men, and that's why I feel like men have always trusted me because I always said the shitty things that I did to men. And it
Well,
wasn't
you're
that it was
authentic and upfront. You tell it like it is. I mean, you're being honest clearly
yeah,
right now
but
because
it
this is
wasn't
something people
intentional.
would
It was
lie
like
about.
there were certain guys who let me walk all over them. So I walked all over them. Not me thinking, I'm gonna walk all over this man. I'm gonna do it for the rest of it. But like I just did it because he wasn't putting a boundary up in place. He wasn't saying, no, I'm not picking you up from the airport. No, I'm not coming over and helping you build this X, Y, and Z. No, it, unless we're doing something as a couple, right? And because he would just come over, I would continue doing it. I'd have fun with him, it was fine. But then I got what I wanted out of it. I wanted somebody to help me build that damn thing who I enjoyed talking to. Did I want anything else from that person? Absolutely not. I didn't lead him to think I did, but I didn't lead him to think that I didn't. So there are things that can happen when you do put it is a boundary that you're putting into place verbally when you're saying to women like this is what I want. I'm not cut out for the crazy. I don't want the crazies in my life and I want to be able to have great conversations with another woman who can be rational and who can compromise. Like that's an amazing thing to say. It doesn't mean that's not going to happen sometimes that you're not going to be able to compromise because there's going to be new things you're going to have to get through. It just means you're going to start from a better level with that person because you won't give in to the BS that you had in the past or that many men do give into because they want to hold on to that woman. I really believe many narcissistic women are made by the men that they're with. Or even by the situation that they're in.
I
It's
don't
not,
disagree with you.
yeah.
And I'm glad you're a woman saying this, whether
Yeah.
that's your masculine side coming through or not.
No, it's my real side. I have so many times, even in my relationship with my husband, when we first had our first child, where my husband just took a back seat because he's like, "Okay, you're in charge," which I also didn't like, which made me see
Mhm.
him as less than a man, right?
That's your feminine side. I was
That's
joking,
my
of
feminine
course.
side. No,
Yeah.
I know that, but, like,
Yeah.
because that was my feminine side, then I was like, "Fine, okay, I'll boss you around," and he took
You
it
know
for
what this
so
comes
long, and
down
I didn't
to?
like that.
Yeah, because you're about to go on another tangent and you're so
Yeah,
smart and you've been at this for so long and you know your stuff so much, just like I do. We could talk for 5 hours straight on
yeah.
this
Oh, let's get to the 4
and not
S's.
miss a beat. No, no, no. Hold on. But you're bringing so I like where this is going. I actually adore where this is going because I don't think this is a conversation that's had often. And after 500 and some odd episodes, Marnie, I'm looking for a unique hook all the time, and you're bringing it. Consider what you just said about I think men create these monsters.
Mhm.
And I have said that for years. Now, if you're a big four man, you're confident, you're masculine in the way women define it. You actually like women. I've modified the big four recently because there's so
Yeah.
many guys out here who just can't stand the bitches that, like,
Yep.
it seems like pretty baseline. Hey, you want to attract women, like them, and maybe they'll like you back. That
Yep.
goes back to this leadership. And of course, strong character, which if you're trying to take advantage of somebody and you're trying to mislead them, killing them with kindness, love bombing them up front only so you can take, or be mean or evil later. That's poor character. So the big four have evolved, but look how well that dovetails with what you're saying. I don't think men understand the power of their leadership in a relationship with women. I think they
Oh, no.
underestimate it.
They lead the whole thing.
They
They
lead
do.
the whole thing.
It feels the other way, but your actions dictate what kind of woman you get in front of you.
Yes, that's right. And here's the nuance to that. Because most guys are thinking, well, that feels a little like I'm controlling or I'm going to
No.
be kind of a jerk and I'm, got her under my thumb and I'm,
No, if
listen,
you
no, no,
ignore
no.
her and
You're
don't see
saying
her
something
as
different.
feminine, she's going to act very masculine and be really pissed at you, and make your life a misery.
Yes. Nag you because she has to pick up that mantle. Yes.
Mhm.
But what you said, okay, let me just cut to the chase. If you lead with, I'm going to show you all my money, I'm going to spend all this money on you. I'm going to take you to Ruth's Chris one day. And if that isn't good enough, Morton's the next, and Brazilian churrascarias every other, we're just going to basically be death by steak here and lobster. She'll go, okay, cool.
Why not?
Why not? I'm not
Why
even
would you
really
say
attracted to
anything
you.
else? Why would you
I don't
say
want to have
anything?
sex with you. I'm not ever going to have sex with you. But my God, I was about to open up a can of Chef Boyardee. So by all means, take me out and spend $300, $400
Mhm.
on me. It's your idea. I didn't beg for it. I didn't ask for it. Next thing you know, the guy's like, all these gold digging bitches just want my money. And they're all, dude, you led. You made it okay.
Yes.
No sex, her treating you badly, you being needy and her pulling away. she needs a ride to an airport. And by the way, picking up someone from LAX is no joke.
Oh, I know. It's
That's
like
a lot of
full
commitment.
2-hour
Yeah.
commitment.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Help
that's
me
love.
move, right?
That is love and
Help me
friendship right there.
move. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to get anything. A woman invites 6 guys to help her move. Those 6 guys all offered. Not one of them is going to get anything sexual from her.
Mhm.
And then they're all angry afterwards. Gentlemen,
Mhm.
you have to understand the power of your
You
leadership.
can't exchange niceness for sex. Kind gestures for sex. That's not how it works.
No.
No.
No. What happens, see now, if a woman feels safe and comfortable in your presence, I know how to provide, I know how to protect, I know how to set boundaries, I know how to say no to you.
Yeah, I do want to read you these 4 S's because they're falling in line with what we're talking about. So the 4 things that
then
women
get right. I think we made our point. Go for it. Give me
yeah,
the
no, but
give me
the okay,
S's.
so the 4 this is
Does the first
my
one be
belief.
named Scott? That's the first one is
Yes,
Scott.
he's named Scot McKay. Ride BMX.
The
and have a
importance of
podcast.
being
That's
earnest.
exactly
Yeah.
what it is. Okay, so the 4 S's, I'm going to read it to you because I don't want to mess anything up. The foundation of female attraction, right, is that you make
Thankfully,
her feel.
psycho starts with a P.
Right, that's true. So this is what you need to make women feel, and then this is also what you need to display, right? So that you need to make a woman feel safe, special, sexy, selected. Okay, so safe, she feels comfortable and at ease around you. Her guard comes down. She can relax and be herself. Make her feel special. She feels seen and valued. And this is for both for the attraction phase and for the deep in a relationship phase. Okay,
I think
she
that's the
feels
kernel
seen.
of the whole system.
Yep. She feels seen and valued, not just as another pretty face, but as an individual you're genuinely curious about and want to be around. Sexy. She feels attracted. There's tension, spark, chemistry. She knows you see her as a woman, not just as a friend. And then selective, right?
Selective or
Sorry,
selected?
selected.
Okay.
She feels like she had to earn your attention. You have standards. You're not desperate for anyone who will have you. And it goes on the flip side as well, right? She needs to feel this, but you need to act this way as well. You need to be safe. You need to believe you're special. You need to believe you're sexy, and you need to be selective with who you allow into your world, into your life, into your bedroom, into your car, going to the airport, whatever it is. So those are the 4 S's. They're the primal triggers on both sides. And it fits into exactly what we were saying before.
Yeah. I love how you're talking about things that they're verbs. These are the things you do. And when you're like this, when you present this aura, women will love you for it. And I think that dovetails really nicely into my big 4, because my big 4 are more a standard, a foundation of character. You know,
And what are they?
makes
What are the
me
big 4?
tick? Well, the big 4 are confidence, which I don't think is masculine or feminine, by the way. I think women have the big 4
No,
also.
it's not at all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Masculinity, as women define it. In other words, not my machismo, and then the women's side, not Marianismo, but, you know, what is it that attracts femininity to masculinity? You have to have that.
Yeah. Groundedness, holding space, being able to communicate properly, vulnerability. Oh, amazing. And how to hang a picture on the wall.
Straight.
Yeah. Straight.
Only if you're a Libra, right? That's what I've been told.
How sexy is that? You can hang 2 pictures on the wall, both straight with each other. Oh my God, you're on fire at that point.
Mine would turn gay. I can tell you that straight up. They wouldn't be straight. So the next one is actually liking women.
Yeah.
And I had to do this post-COVID because it seemed so obvious to me. But now there are so many people so bitter and so enraged with the entire other gender. You know, it's that black and white thinking. They're all bitches and it's all their fault when almost every time, and I'm looking at you, red-pilled MGTOW guys, you led. That's what happened. This pattern is yours. You should own it and you can change it. The good news is when it's your fault, you can change it. 4th one is good, solid character. And Marni, good, solid character is what takes you from being Mr. Right Now or Mr. Situationship to someone she can see long-term, because that's lifetime. I'm going to be consistent.
To be honest,
I'm going to have a belief system that matches with yours.
Good character is still for short term. Even if you just have like a one-night stand, you can still be a man of good character that she's having a great time with. And the character is, I'm this really fun experience. I'm going to be very clear and direct with you. I'm not into a long-term engagement. And that can still be a co-decision that you make together to have a really great experience. That's
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying a nuance of character is that that's long-term potential in a bottle.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if someone doesn't have any character, we can have that same fun time until we figure out what's, who's really hiding behind that bush. But that consistency over the long term is what makes your marriage stick together 50, 60 years.
Yeah. And I will say, like, everything you described, like the 4 S's, I'll say that those are things that me and my husband work on quite often, but my husband has all of those.
Yeah, of
And,
course he
like,
does.
yes, he screws up every once in a while, I screw up every once in a while, but, like, he always goes back to masculinity, to confidence, to I forget what the other ones were, to
Liking
character,
you
like yeah,
liking
and
the fact
liking
that you're
women.
female and having
Yeah, and they're
character.
really key. They are really key, so I totally agree with you.
Simple but not easy in the year 2026. But let's talk about enough about me. Let's talk about your S's. I love them all, and I agree with them all. And I think you were so right on the money, because how could you be wrong? You've been doing this longer than I have. You're immersed in it. Both of us
I'm
have.
probably I'm going through perimenopause. Maybe I am making up shit now, so I don't know.
I just love your honesty. You're so funny.
Yeah.
I just remember you would sit next to me during the masterminds just so I could make you laugh.
Oh,
When
yeah,
people
for
were up
sure.
there
And you would just make
pontificating and
dad
being real
jokes the
silly.
entire time, and
Yeah.
I'd love
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Because people get really serious.
Oh
They'll argue over, what color your headline should be on a sales
yeah.
page. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't even. So first of all, safe. That's the whole operating system. That is masculinity. And a guy comes up to me and goes, well, women feel safe around me all the time, but then then they don't want to have sex with me and they treat me like their little brother. So you're wrong. I go, oh, no, hold on. Being harmless is different than
safe.
fomenting safety. If she feels safe because you're there, that's different than you don't scare her. So that's an important distinction. But
True.
Most women, it's funny because a lot of women, most guys are always horny. That's the stereotype. And most women are always scared. That's the stereotype. Women live with a lot of fear, though, that men, in all seriousness, don't understand. And we can either be part of the solution or part of the problem. If you're all about making a woman feel safe and comfortable, not just physically, but also emotionally. If you take her out to dinner and you're one-upmanship everything, or you're wrong, or you're making her feel stupid, she doesn't feel safe. You're not getting any.
No.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything at that point. You're just getting,
you're getting the bill. You're getting stuck with.
You're never going to hear from that woman again. I just did a
You're
video.
getting the 5th S, which is stuck.
Yes.
Stuck with
exactly.
the bill.
Well, I just did a video on because I usually do things for nice guys or guys who end up in the friend zone, the ones who don't speak up for themselves, the ones who are too safe around them but not exuding anything else. And I was talking to guys who are secretly assholes but are unaware that they're assholes, because in the boardroom and at work, things that they get praised for don't work in dating. And typically what that looks like is they'll go out with a woman. They'll think they're having a really great time. That woman will never contact him again and won't even answer his calls, because she'll think he's an asshole once she walks away, because he's constantly disagreeing with her, which obviously disagree, state your opinion, but bulldozing over her, telling her that she's wrong, belittling her, make her feeling stupid. Yeah, that's not somebody who's assertive. That's an asshole.
Guys always talk about doing hard things as masculine men, and it's always in the physical realm.
Yeah.
Guys,
that
guys
is masculine. Like, to be honest,
oh yeah,
I even played pickleball with my husband the other day, and he was so aggressive on the court. I liked it, and I kind of didn't like it. There was two sides to me, but I was like, I like that he's so physically into it and wants to be competitive. I like that in him, that drive. I don't see that very often.
Well, you mentioned one of the S's being sexy.
Yeah, that was sexy to me.
We'll get there. Okay. Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, when women act like women and they do cute little female, beautiful, artsy, gorgeous things, I melt. But all right, so hold on. This masculinity, doing hard things, if it's limited only to, I'm going to win a gold medal for the hockey team. Now, by the way, the hockey game was crazy. Those guys, I've never seen dudes in person. I've never witnessed dudes fight so hard for something in my entire life. I'm sure on the battlefield they do or whatever, but yeah, it was crazy. But the do hard things movement is usually rooted in physical stuff. Do a Tough Mudder, do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But the hardest things we as men ever have to do are often decisions.
Mm-hmm.
They're reining in our emotions. It's doing the right thing instead of the easy or the pretty or the clean thing.
Mm-hmm.
And guys have no training in that. And that's the
Yeah.
stuff that makes women swoon right there.
Oh,
And
absolutely. Oh
yeah,
my
then,
God. Something.
being seen.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my
Yeah.
God. That's what we all need nowadays.
I know. Well, we
Everybody
always
just
needed
feels,
it. We just didn't know how to do it before in the
well,
past. But yeah.
we're completely deprived of it nowadays.
Yeah.
It's all social media and getting likes and, influencers. And you and I were both on a call where we were talking about how people aren't going to download the info products anymore and just go to YouTube. What is it that people really want? They want someone to talk through this stuff with. That's not a
Yeah.
robot. That's not AI. Someone
Yeah.
who's a who, not a what.
Yeah.
Right. And that is the old school being the new school again, just like going out and meeting women in public, gentlemen,
Yeah. You're right.
actually talking. Go out with a woman who has been behind a computer all day and doom scrolling and just sit there, shut up and listen.
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
go,
be
that's
really exciting.
fascinating.
But yes, but listen and do it.
Or
So
be
I
really
just had
exciting.
this one
Be
girl.
human.
Yeah, it's so human.
Yeah.
So I just went for a doctor's appointment, and the nurse who came in at first, she had been in a long-term relationship. She's single now, and she's seeing this guy. He's like 45, she's like 35, and I was like, okay, so tell me about him. How did he attract you? Because I know you're so cute. Guys want you all the time. How did he get your attention? She's like, well, I usually don't date guys who are older, and I didn't want to go on a date with him, but he just seemed so interesting. And he said to me, like, let's go explore our city together. And he ended up meeting her somewhere. They got on one of those Lime bikes or what, not even Lime. I forget what it's called now, but like those scooters, they got on it together and they went around
Lime.
their neighborhood. I forget if it's called Lime. I forget what they're called, but like they just, and then afterwards they sat down and he looked at her, he listened, he mirrored her, he validated her. They had a great conversation. So he was so different and interesting, right? He didn't spend a fortune on going out with her after they went on their Lime experience.
Right.
He's like, okay, now I'll spend some money on you. We're going to go have a meal now because now you've passed my first test. I'm selecting you to now invest in a little bit more. We'll go sit down and we'll talk. It was, and she said it was like the most interesting date she's ever experienced.
Oh, so many people are so boring nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of single moms are bored.
Oh my God.
I remember I just
a lot of married moms are bored too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
But enough about you.
Right, exactly.
I remember I stumbled upon what really amounted to a bad pickup routine, except it worked amazingly well. And I suppose it isn't really a pickup routine because I meant every word of it. It was genuine and authentic because I was a dad too, But I understood, just looking at a woman's apartment, she's got 7 locks and a Glock under her pillow, and she's in fear, and she's got to make all the money, come home, do all the laundry, change all the diapers, coordinate all the daycare. She has no time to be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's in her masculine all the time doing the providing and protecting. Yeah. And I observed this, and I was astute enough that the next time I picked a woman up who I knew was a mom, I said, hey, you know what? I know you have a babysitter, but here, I'm not going to answer the phone tonight. I'd throw it in the back seat of my car. I have one mission tonight. After everything you've probably been through this week, I'm taking you on a 2-hour vacation courtesy of me.
I love that.
And we're just going to go out and enjoy ourselves and have fun and not be stressed anymore. And I had women look at me like I was Jesus saving them. I know that sounds, that's the way they looked at me.
Like, at. But you also have to feel really good about yourself to be able to get out of your side of your head, to be able to see where they're coming from.
Well, Marni, I needed the vacation too.
Right, exactly. So you understood. I mean, you're like, I get it. I totally get it. For sure. Mm-hmm.
And this wasn't about me getting in their pants. This wasn't about me trying to impress them.
You wanted a 2-hour break.
I just really wanted to relax, and I've always said, hey, if I'm going grocery shopping, if I'm watching a TV show, if I'm going to go out to dinner, I'd rather do it with a hot chick, not by myself.
But that must have been the way that you selected women too. Because if you're like, you're making these 2 hours miserable and they're the only 2 hours I have this week, I'm cutting this now. You're not slotting into the next 2 hours.
Yeah. And of course, we could talk another hour about how to create a life where you have options instead of being desperate, where you're the chooser instead of the chaser. But that does bring you to the other ass. I want to talk about sexy too, but being seen, being special and seen, I think that's
it's the same one.
They're similar, right? That's another S, is similar. You don't want to be similar. You want to stand out.
Yeah.
Another S. I'm just going to have 45
I know
S's
you're gonna
by
have
the time we're
45
done.
S's by the time you're done.
It's going to be too complicated.
Not as catchy.
But it's true.
It's true. Totally.
Stinky isn't one of them, by the way, guys. You got to take a shower, do with the breath. Hygiene matters. Fingernails. Seen, make her feel special. Special isn't putting her on a pedestal. Special is just actually liking her as a human being. And wow, I'm uniquely with you. I'm not, wishing I was somewhere else. I'm not flirting with another waitress. I'm glad I'm with you. I find you interesting. I love that you brought up, hey, listening is one thing, but also being interesting and having a plan for that date to go do something makes that woman feel safe. So you start getting a bird's nest of all these S's. It's like S stands for soup because it's all kind of blending together. But selected, I talk about women love to be chosen.
Oh, yeah. And they vie to be chosen. So if they feel that they're chosen already, they don't have to work at all, right? If they're already
that makes her not jealous. That makes her feel safe because you had many options. You selected her. My wife is my favorite female human being ever. She is a collision of all my celebrity crushes. Okay. I was just like, I'm done. I want you tonight. I want you tomorrow night. I'm done. After 20 years, I'm still done. I'm still, and that's why I'm her favorite guy.
Yeah.
Because she feels chosen. She knows she's my favorite woman. And that weirdly is leadership. Because I chose.
100% of leadership.
It makes her feel safe.
I just did a call with Susan Braddon this morning, and she was talking about how she's been married for 34 years, and she is a sexpert. All she does is talk about sex. She's explored
been
her
on this show for sure. We
orgasms a million times, but every time that she gets into the bedroom with her husband, she needs a few moments of reassurance that he's choosing her. That is the first portion before they get into things that he has to say, I want to be with you. You're sexy. She needs that reassurance. Even though I think of her as the most confident woman in the room who would never need that. She still wants it and she needs it in order for her to become turned on.
Yeah. And that's another thing. If you got everything handled, guys, and you don't need a woman for anything, guess what? She won't give it. She won't give you approval. She won't recharge your warrior batteries. She'll stop doing your laundry. She'll stop cooking for you. And you'll be like, this bitch doesn't do anything for me. You stopped letting her. You were too damn self-sufficient. Hey, you know what? I make my wife feel special all the time. But at the same time, like I'm sure you and your husband are, we're very authentic with each other. And if we're in a crappy mood or we're bickering, we trust each other to do that, which makes us more trustworthy when we actually do have those tender moments together. Like, oh, of course I need it.
For sure.
Yeah, you can't just say one thing during the honeymoon phase and let it ride for 20 years. That will land you in divorce court.
Yeah, 100%. You can't just see her on the wedding day and then say, like, peace, I'll see you in like 30 years on our deathbed. Like you have to still see her.
There's an old Henny Youngman joke. For my 20th anniversary, I took my wife to Italy. For our 50th anniversary, I went and picked her up.
Right.
Yes.
Got her back. No, but that's a huge thing. I think the 4 S's, they cross over into every stage of attraction. In the beginning, those are the things that I as a woman want to feel. And as somebody who's 20 years in, those are still things that I want to feel.
I think guys feel dumb trying to be sexy. I think there's like this silliness around male sexiness to men. Like, I mean, how do I be sexy? I would just let them looking silly.
That's if they're thinking about it in a
cartoonish
like Magic Mike type of way where they're like trying to do a strip show for you. Like that I find cheesy and like a huge turnoff. But I find my husband
that's where
really
we've learned
sexy.
This stuff, Marni.
Yeah, but like my husband's so sexy when I'm having a tough time with my 9-year-old right now, and I just feed into the emotion, right? Like, so I'm battling with a 9-year-old and trying to logic my way into a resolution. And my husband just steps in and he goes, you go step over there. And he just gets on his level. It's really calm with him, gets him to calm down. I'm like, God, that is that's so sexy to me right now when he's a really
control.
Good dad. Yeah.
Having things under control, having a plan.
Oh God.
Keeping your calm when everybody's
Best
losing their lunch. Yeah. That is very sexy to women.
I got this.
Right. Anything that makes women feel safe, anything that makes women feel chosen, you're already being sexy, The flirtation, and I know this is a great subject that you love to talk about. And of course, this is a safe space for that. Just turning up that dial instead of just going for it, but starting to make little flirts and to do little things with each other and little innuendos and let that build over the course of
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Oh man, it just simmers women into oblivion. And
Oh,
guys,
it's amazing. I even do
they
that
don't
with
even
my
make the
female
effort.
friends. It's just fun. It's fun. It makes you feel alive. Even for
Yes.
my girlfriends, I'll be like, "Oh my god, stop flirting with me. You're making me so uncomfortable." Like that, even just that notion, it just puts you into a different space. And like right away, it makes you want to be more feminine. Even if it's another woman saying it to you, right? It just makes you feel seen. And you're like, okay, oh wow, we're flirting now, which means we're bonding on a different level. And yes, we are two women right now doing it, but it still has the same impact.
That is so hot. I love
Yeah,
it.
it is.
It is
And
it
then
is
we go make
sexy.
out and it's even crazier. No, just joking.
No, you're not. Um, so basically, you hang out with Susan Bratton enough,
Oh,
you'll do
yeah,
even
and that
crazier
would be
things.
true, actually. Yes,
Yeah,
I
but
would. Yeah.
um, now we love Susan around here, of course.
Oh, I love
We've had
her.
her on. Yeah, yeah. I've known her as
I've
long
known
as
her
I've
for
known
20
you.
years as well, which is
Yeah,
insane.
right.
All of them,
Exactly.
20
Exactly.
years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
100%.
Mhm.
So a lot of guys are saying, you two have been doing this for 20 years. I'm sitting here trying to watch or listen to this damn podcast, and all you've done is make my head spin around. I mean, where are the takeaways here? What can I do now to be better than I was 47 minutes ago, you two? Give me something practical I can use today, Marnie.
Ooh, okay, something practical. I mean, to be honest, the easiest ones are the big 4. Pick one of those and then try to display them for the next week. So example, if you choose safety, right? That you're like, I'm actively going to focus on making women feel safe and me myself presenting myself as a safe man. Right? Doesn't mean being standoffish. It doesn't mean staying away from women so they feel comfortable. It doesn't mean I'm trying to think what else it doesn't mean that might be going through their heads. I'll tell you what it does mean. It means like
Doesn't mean
opening the
fighting off
door.
thugs. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I mean, but even that can be part of safety for sure. But like
Well, if it,
making a
if it
woman feel
comes up,
safe is maybe lowering your voice a little bit, right? Getting down on her
not
level,
driving like a
making good eye
maniac.
contact with the people that you talk to instead of nervously looking around, putting your hand on her shoulder, right? That's a way to make a woman feel safe. Open the door, put your hand on the small of her back and lead her through a restaurant. And then even with your words, you can say things like, "I got you. Don't worry, I got you," or "I got this." Just
I got
things that
this.
again make
All
her
taken care of.
nervous system just go, okay, I can do this. And then just rinse and repeat and try to do 5 of those things every single day and then go on to the next S or one of the, other 4 big ideas and just work on
Sexy.
those
Let's go to the
every single
sexy.
week. The sexy one of making people feel sexy, it depends. If you have a wife in your life, then that's something you can do. But even with your female friends, you can say like, "You look beautiful today." You do. I'm not trying to say that in a gross
Well,
way. I'm
making a
trying to
woman
say it in
feel
a you
safe
do.
is sexy,
Mhm. Yeah, it
and it
is.
does make
Well,
her
it's
feel
different. If you're
special.
looking at it from the side of, like, what you can do, yes, for sure. You are making them feel sexy, but it has to be you're making them feel sexy. You're making them feel feminine. You're making them feel like a woman. That can be flirting with them. That can be making little jokes and teasing them. That can make them feel feminine and little and dainty. And like you're not just seeing them as this other person or this other human. You're seeing them as
Or
an
a
equal
conquest.
female.
It's interesting because there's so much to talk about there and so little time. I boiled it down to one sentence. I have 2 sentences that if guys always ask themselves these questions, okay, they really can never go wrong. On a first date, when they're talking to a woman, the first one is, am I putting her at ease or am I making her feel uneasy?
Hmm.
It's going to be one or the other. And if you apply that litmus test in the moment to what you're talking about or what you're doing or where this rabbit hole is going, you can check yourself. The other one is, am I carrying her or is she carrying me?
Yeah.
Because she can't be your mommy and your lover at the same time. So if she's babysitting you and having to,
Yeah.
meet your needs because you're needy, she's not going to be attracted. So
I completely
those
agree.
kind of go hand in hand.
I agree
But
with you.
this idea of making her laugh, the humor, when women are relaxed, they laugh.
Mhm.
You know, all these guys, I've seen the whole parade of guys, including myself, who come out with how to make women laugh programs. And it's always about being a comedian. And yeah,
Yep.
you know me, I'm pretty funny. I can crack a joke. I'm quick on my feet, and women love me for it. That's another reason why my wife says she loves me. But
Right.
and it's learned skill. It's all learned skill. But when a woman is having fun, when she's relaxed, when she's not afraid anymore, she starts laughing.
Yeah.
What girls' night out, GNO on Friday night, they're all laughing their brains out. Not one of them's a comedian. And so if you're making a woman laugh, she's feeling safe with you, unless it's like nervous laughter, you know. But if she's genuinely just having a great time, you've succeeded at making her feel safe. So then you can turn up the flirting. She obviously likes you. That's your masculinity doing the heavy lifting. I love it. And I love how all four of those S's fit together.
Yeah. Well, but okay. So I'm just pulling up my presentation because I wanna read this to the guys that are listening. So for the
Okay.
first S, safe. What safe means: emotionally and physically secure in your presence, grounded, not needy, confident,
Because of
not
your presence.
because of your presence. Okay, present, not distracted, interested, not desperate. Okay. The
How am
second
I
S.
doing, by the way?
How are you doing? Oh, you're doing great. You are always doing great. Special. What is special? Means she feels seen and recognized for who she is, not just another pretty face. Specific, authentic appreciation, noticing what makes her different. So don't say things like you're beautiful or you have a great smile or you seem nice. Say things that are specific to her. There's something about the way that you laugh that's completely infectious. I can tell you're someone who actually thinks before they speak, right? That's special. Okay,
I
let's go
think
to second.
beautiful women want to be appreciated for something other than their
Other
physical
than their
looks.
beauty. And then they also want to be
And it's
appreciated
rare.
for their beauty too, but it can't
Of
just be
course.
that, right?
Yes.
Okay, sexy. What sexy means. Not afraid to show that you find her attractive. Comfortable with your masculine energy. Create sexual tension without being inappropriate. Confident eye
Mhm.
contact and slight mystery. Okay? So, not sexy is so respectful that you're sexless, treating her like a sister, afraid to show romantic interest, apologizing for being attracted. Sexy is confident, I'm interested, energy, creating moments of tension, and making her feel feminine. And the last one is selective. Two sides. You are selective, she feels selected, right? You are selective, you have standards and options. She feels selected, she's been chosen by a high value man. The
There you
psychology
go.
triggers scarcity and value. So there's
Love it.
selective looks like having genuine standards, willing to walk away, not chasing excessively, showing interest while maintaining independence. Not selective, saying yes to anyone, kind of like we were talking about at the beginning of the show, right? You'll go out with a
Mhm.
crazy person, even if you treat you like shit the entire time, right?
Well,
Acting
screw anything
desperate.
with a
That's why
skirt.
you'll
Yeah.
stay with them. Changing yourself to fit her.
Love it. And you
Yeah.
know, as kind of a denouement to this thing, the cherry on top, too many of you guys out there are saying to yourselves, well, women have all the power. They're the ones who do all the choosing. He or she who has options has the power. When you
100%.
become a big four man and you practice these four S's, you're going to have more options immediately.
Yep. But it's so like I get that at least like once every 5 weeks in my Wednesday call where guys are like, but women have complete control. They get to choose. I was like, do you know how many female dating coaches I know who have women in there saying men get to choose, men get to do this, men get to do that. When you get to a certain level, you do get to choose, but you got to get to that level first. And then
I
you
have
get to
bad
be,
news for all those people. And, you know, I just, you know me, I cut to the chase. They're the invisible ones who feel like that.
yes,
You know, guys are
absolutely.
going to go to the grocery store and there were only 5 women in there who were hot. Yeah, there were 400 women in there. You just only noticed 5 of them.
Yeah.
Those are the
Mhm.
5 women who have
And
all the
none of them
power.
noticed you.
Right. Well, maybe, maybe not. But it depends on which guy you are. But there's 390 women in there who go, men have all the power because I have to wait for them to ask me out and they'll never
Yep.
do it.
Hmm.
That's right.
Because they're not going
Powerful,
after their own
powerful.
opportunities. I totally,
Yep.
totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Her name is Marni Kinrys. She's in Culver City, California, which is,
Don't tell people where I live. No, I'm just joking.
I'm not going to dox you. Okay. It's still a
I'm
pretty
just
big
joking.
place.
They'll find it if they want to.
Yeah.
Don't come to my
And
house.
used to be Santa Monica. She moved away from the beach and closer to Hollywood.
Mhm.
She is the head honcha over at the Wing Girl Method,
Mhm.
which is a pretty good brand. She obviously is pro guy. She can help you get where you need to be with women from a woman's perspective and has been doing a great job for 20 years. It's always fun to collaborate with you, Marni.
Oh, you too.
And I want to send guys to your website, which is
Well, I have something for free that I
fwithher.com.
want to give to them. It's a little mini course that I made. It's a video series mini course that I made for them. It's called the 5 attractive traits men must have to attract women. But the website to go to
There's 4
is
S's and 1 extra. That's a surprise, right?
Well, you'll see what the special 5th video is.
Okay.
But the website is called fwithher.com. So go to it, get this free mini series, these free videos, and it will change the way that you interact with women. So it's teaching you how to apply these 4 S's in your real world with women.
And a hidden 5th one.
And a hidden 5th one.
Surprise.
Yes.
That's it. S stands for surprise.
I think it's 5 videos that will, maybe that's what it is. Now I always forget, but yeah, fwithher.com.
Oh, I'm handing you marketing solid gold here, Marni.
I've never
5 S's and the 5th one is
surprise.
surprise.
Before. The 4 S's are new for me, so this is a new thing. F with her I've been having for a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, they're going to get bloated into 37 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And guys, you can also go to mountaintoppodcast.com/F with her. 8 letters.
Yep.
It would have been a great mid-90s email address because it's got 8 letters.
For sure.
fwithher@deservewhatyowant.com.
Mm-hmm.
fwithher@thewinggirlmethod.com. And, kind of an auspicious name, and I'm sure it's a lot of fun. So go to mountaintoppodcast.com, F with her, and you'll see what Marni's been up to. Also, we got your book up on Amazon, right?
Yes. Oh my God, that thing's so old, but it still plays into what's happening. I do not think attraction has changed. I think that things have changed, like the ways to go about it. But at the core, I think attraction now is attraction 20 years ago. I think most things have stayed the same. What attracts women now, same as 100 years ago.
What's primal hasn't changed. What's human hasn't changed. The packaging it comes with
the modalities
comes in is cultural and, sure. Love it. Thank you so much, Marni. It's been great to have you back.
I love
talking with you. Been too long. Yeah. And I'm going to be on your show too.
On my show.
That's right. That's big time fun there. And we've talked about all this stuff already, so we're going to have to come up with brand new things to talk about for your group.
Well, we'll talk about your four big ones.
Yeah, 4 big ones.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Great stuff. Gentlemen, if you want to be you want to be big and you want to be more. That's what you want to be. But if you want to be a big 4 man, where you want to go is mountaintoppodcast.com. Guys, if you're not on my daily newsletter, you got to be on my daily newsletter because it's fluff free. I hit you with something that's actionable every single day. It's free of charge. You can unsubscribe if you really want to, but you're not going to want to because it's good stuff there. I also want to thank all my longtime sponsors, including Jocko Willink and his company, Origin in Maine. Also, the Keyport and Hero Soap, masculine stuff for masculine men. Use the coupon code MOUNTAIN10 with any of our 3 longtime sponsors and get 10% off and get you some. And gentlemen, also, if you haven't talked to me for 20, 25 minutes, we talked about on this show how it's nice to connect with a real human in the days of AI. I'm all in on AI. I think it's really cool. And I'm sure the world's going to be a better place. If you guys are on video, you saw that nuance there. But you know what? It's nice to have a place where you can talk about this stuff with someone who's going to hear you and also with someone who's going to come up with solutions that are for you, not the masses. And that's what happens when you get on my calendar at mountaintoppodcast.com as well. So that's our show for today. As always, my name is Scott McKay from X&Y Communications in San Antonio, Texas. Until next time, be good out there.